What is up, YouTube? Fanta here, and today I am reviewing Mario Sports Superstars for the Nintendo 3DS. Now this is kind of a unique game to review just because it is basically 5 different games in one. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of break down this review by game. So let's start with soccer. Now with soccer I was a bit worried because Super Mario Strikers was so amazing. I love all the different power-ups, the items, just the slide tackling, all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, it doesn't really have any of that in this soccer game. Now that's not to say it's not a bad, just plain Mario vanilla. Mario and vanilla don't really go together, but just kind of a plain soccer game with a Mario skin. It's not bad. The passing works great, the controls are fluid, and the online play works really well. I experienced zero lag and absolutely murdered the guy I played against. So overall, not a bad soccer game. It doesn't hold up comparatively to Mario Strikers. Just that game was phenomenal. Baseball. I'm gonna come right out and just say I am awful at baseball games, and I'm not a huge fan of baseball the sport. I'm just gonna come out right there and be honest. And in the game, I've played some baseball games in the past, and this feels about like an MLB game. Now you can't get unique players and with a bunch of different stats. You basically just get speed, technique, power, balance all around. So there's some stats that you can work out because you actually pick your team kind of individually. You can kind of pick from a roster of Mario villains as well as Toads, and they all have their own sort of unique stats, but they're really just kind of a generic, like I said, power, technique, what have you. Now what effect this actually has on this game, I don't know. I couldn't really tell the difference between any of the characters. I will tell you that I was dreadful at this game. I sat down and tried to play this for several hours and I could never get the hang of it, but I'm just bad at baseball games, so there's that. I think I might have won like one game, and the footage you're seeing, I did not win the game because I'm trying to play the game to the viewfinder. In fact, most of these games I'm not going to be great at because I'm playing the game through the viewfinder, just giving you a heads up. So I wasn't able to play online with baseball, but I did notice something that was a bit annoying. When you start to search for somebody, you have to pick your team captain and then all of your individual teammates. You have to do this every single time you search, even if you don't find anyone. So whenever you don't find someone, it kicks you back to the main menu, where you then have to pick your entire team again. It's very frustrating, but it's not too big of an issue. It's just something that I picked up on. Tennis. Tennis felt nearly identical to the tennis game the Mario tennis game that already came out for the 3DS. Now, whether or not you think that's a good thing is up to you. Personally, I like Mario Power Tennis much more than I like the one that came out for the 3DS. So to me, the tennis was a bit underwhelming just because it was more like the 3DS version that I wasn't a fan of. But I would pick up this game over the standalone tennis game if you're thinking about getting that one. This one you at least get a variety of sports, and the online community is going to be much better for this one. Golf. It's golf. I really don't know what else to say about golf. It's a plain and simple golf game. There's the wind, you can kind of see the hill by the way that the lines are. When you're trying to make a putt, you can see it's golf. If you've ever played a golf game before, you know what this is like. It's got the power meter, tells you where you want to hit. It's not always accurate because you need to take wind into account. You see where it's going to land, but once again, wind, hills, stuff like that. It's fun. I mean, I like golf games. It's not as in-depth as a Tiger Woods game, unfortunately. You can't unlock different clubs. You can't get different accessories. You can't... I mean, there's one more course you can unlock. I can't figure out how to unlock it. Even the notes that they sent along with the review copy didn't include anything, so I don't know. I don't know how to unlock it. I know that I did unlock Metal Mario for horse racing through the Amiibo card, but I really hope to God that you don't need to buy Amiibo cards to unlock things. That would just be dumb. Online worked well, but it was a bit weird. Instead of taking turns like you normally do in a golf game, you golf at the same time as the other person. You just kind of see their progress, like you'll be sitting there waiting to swing, you'll kind of size up your shot, and you'll see the player icon fly over you, which is where the golf ball is going. So you can kind of see what they're doing while you're golfing at the same time. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying it's different. I haven't seen a golf game that did that. I don't know if they started making Tiger Woods games like that, but I know in the past you had to take a shot, you had to wait. Take a shot, wait. I know that's how it works in Grand Theft Auto 5 golf as well. So it was fun, it worked. So when I do play this mode in the future, I know I'm just gonna be playing online, because when you play single player, I know the tournament's different, but when you play single player, you're just playing against the course itself. You don't have any AI opponent. So golf was good. Online worked well. The shots felt smooth. It was just a nice, plain and simple golf game. Now for the final event, horse racing. Surprisingly, this is the most fleshed out sport in the whole package. You pick your own horse, you can take care of it in a Nintendog style mini game where you kind of pet it, you brush it off when it's dirty, you can give it treats, you can take it out for a walk, which where it finds more items out in the pastures, kind of like Nintendogs when you take your dogs for a walk, and of course race. So there's a lot going on here. Also, not only that, but this is the only mode where you can actually really customize anything. You can actually get, I saw tons of accessory slots that you can find for your horse. There's a reason to keep coming back and playing the game to get new saddles, new bridles, new headpieces. There's a lot going on here. The racing aspect of this sport was a lot of fun, and there's kind of a strategic element of whether I wanted to go for the carrot tokens or the stars so I can get my star boost. Also, you really want to think about when you're going to use this star boost. Do you want to use it earlier in the race so you can kind of get that head start and kind of be more comfortable, go for more of the carrot tokens instead of the star tokens? Now you may be wondering what the difference is between stars and carrot tokens. Now of course stars do the boost, but carrot tokens act like coins in Mario Kart and speed up your horse for a bit. Now unfortunately I couldn't try out the online mode. I tried several days, couldn't get on, even at different times. Now I'm not sure why some sports I was able to find a match and some sports I wasn't, but I'm sure when this game is more available to the public, there's going to be people online almost 24/7. I'm actually pretty surprised that I liked this game as much as I did. At first I was a bit worried about it because this includes basically all the standalone games that already exist, and of course the standalone games are better versions. I mean, you can't fit the entire standalone version of Strikers, Power Tennis, Toadstool Tour, and whatever the baseball one was called onto a single cartridge. I understand that. So you have to get rid of some of the features. It is a bit weird though that they put so much focus into horse racing. If they had put as much time and effort as they had in those standalone games, this definitely would have been a day one buy. But instead, like I said, they're a bit shallow. Now of course, this game is still a lot of fun. You've got 5 different sports to choose from, but just know that they're not gonna have that same quality that the standalone games are. Something that I haven't mentioned yet is the inclusion of amiibo cards in this game. Now these cards are used in the mode Road to Superstar. Now what this is you scan in up to 3 of these cards, and then you're entered into this brick breaker kind of game where you need to keep all the different objects. Like this is a tennis player, so I would have a tennis ball for this amiibo card. Let's say use my Metal Mario horse racing one, it's got a horseshoe. You got a baseball one, you get a baseball, and so on and so forth. Now if you complete this brick breaker mode and you defeat the final boss, yes, there's a final boss to brick breaker, you actually unlock a star player. Now this player of course has the increased stats you can see on this card. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like the star player should be unlocked through gameplay. Like maybe if you beat a tournament with that character you get a star player, kind of like in past sports games that I played. And also I noticed that my Metal Mario horse racing card unlocked Metal Mario for horse racing. So I'm hoping that these cards are not the only way to unlock characters and those extra courses with the question mark. Because if they are, that's a form of microtransactions. And you guys know how I feel about microtransactions. So I'm hoping that that just will happen if you get a card, but will also happen if you get the digital cards in the game. That is right, guys. There are also digital amiibo cards in the game. Now, what's weird is that these digital ones don't work in the Road to Superstar, and they don't really do anything that I can see. I'm hoping that they'll unlock characters, like randomly unlock a character or unlock a course, but they don't do anything. The manual, it says you just collect them. None of my notes from Nintendo say anything. So I'm guessing you just collect them for the sake of collecting them. I don't really understand it. I personally don't care about collecting something if it doesn't benefit me in any way, but for the people that need 100% games, there you go, you get another collectible. With all that in mind, let's give this game a score and wrap up my final thoughts on it. I give Mario Sports Superstars a 7 out of 10. This is a good game. If it was just one of these games, it wouldn't be a good game, but because it's a collection of all of these games that are a little bit too shallow to be a standalone game, it makes it passable. It makes it a good game. There's not really that many sports games for the 3DS, so this kind of fills that void. If you've been wanting to play a baseball game, I don't think there's been one. If you've been wanting to play a soccer game, this is a good one to play. What can I say? This is going to have a great online community. I'm sure a lot of people are going to pick this game up. So if you've been wanting to play a sports game online with your 3DS, now you can. It is a bit weird that they didn't have a special port of this for the Switch, like a lot of people have been commenting in Nintendo's channel, but I guess they just didn't have time to make both. I don't know. I feel like, especially during this period of the Switch, this would have been a very beneficial game to add to its library. Because right now, really the only games worth owning are Zelda. Snipper Clips is pretty good, a little bit overpriced for what it is, and The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. That's about it. I know that's my opinion, but all the rest are too expensive or they're not that great. So this would have been a solid entry to the Switch lineup, but it's a great 3DS game. So this will tide me over till hopefully, Nintendo, if you're watching this, hopefully they make standalone versions of Mario Power Tennis, Strikers, Toadstool Tour, and all the rest of the sports games on the Switch. I'd love to see a new Mario Strikers. It's been a long time. We need it, guys. We need it. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys like the video, definitely leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, and always have a fantastic day.